think that legacies, people even really know what they mean. Because your legacy starts with you.
I tell you, she snapped, dog.
Hey beautiful people, how you are doing today? Tech Out Destiny here, and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video is the part 2 video I posted previously. So this video is a video of a sister and two brothers having the conversation of having kids. And one of the brother asked her why wouldn't she want to have kids, and said she doesn't want to have kids. And the brother was more like, oh, that's a selfish act, you should have kids. And then another brother went on to talk about, oh, how that is a selfish act if you choose not to have kids, because who are you going to leave your legacy with? And the sister answer to them was like, Anyway, I already posted a part 1 of this video of women responding to this conversation. So I'm just going to play the conversation now so you get it. So here is it.
Think you have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
No, I'm not.
Why would you not want to have kids?
Why would I?
Well, I'm asking you.
Why don't I want to have kids? I don't see any benefit.
For giving somebody life?
You have a kid and your life becomes about the kid. I want my life to be about me.
Oh, you selfish.
That's okay.
I just don't understand how you don't want your legacy to be carried on, bro. Like
My legacy is me. My legacy is not my kids. My legacy is me. My legacy is my show. My legacy is Amani. My legacy is not my kids, because average people will be like, oh, I want a legacy, but you're average. You live like a peasant. So what is your legacy? Let's say that you are above average. You're a millionaire. You're brilliant. You've made all these contributions to society. Your kid could come out to be your kids could come out to be a school, and that's the legacy. That's your legacy. I don't think that legacies, people even really know what they mean, because your legacy starts with you. And if you don't have a legacy in your name, your kids ain't got your legacy. People think that a legacy is just having kids. No, your legacy is what you set your kids up for. And a lot of people don't got two up together, but want to have kids and a legacy. What legacy do you have? A legacy of debt? You are an everyday average citizen, sir.
So you consider, that's so selfish, bro. So selfish.
Actually, it's selfish to have kids, because you think that you're so great that you're going to pass on something great to your kids, to the world. You're not that great.
Please go down in the description box and also up in the card. I will leave a link to the women's response to this. So if you want to know what women think about this conversation, go check out that video. Then you see women's response to this. So this video, we're going to hear men's response to that video, and what men think about women choosing not to have kids, and what they think about legacy, really. Anyway, guys, with that all said, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. So let's go hear men's thoughts on this, and then we'll come back and talk.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having kids.
That's what you was born here to do.
Go back and watch that full video for like context. I just want a few keynotes. I just want to say, to have this mindset is very like weird. I feel, especially in the year 2023, because way back when, I kind of get like you like, oh, we gotta have kids. Like I get it. Like way back when, that was the thing. No, we don't need to like have kids right now, like at all. There's so many people to adopt. And there's so many people in the system, and there's so many kids who were born because parents thought they needed a kid, and like they're not really loved. Like, yeah. Also, for the guy to tell the girl that's what you were born to do, that's just like, first of all, that minimizes like her life. Like, she's not a baby making machine, and that's why like women like feel the way they do about their reproductive system, because men are telling you you're supposed to have kids. What? Who's taking care of this kid? And also to be like bringing life into the world, and she's like, I don't want to do that. And to say how are you selfish towards someone who isn't even like existing yet? If she doesn't want to have a child, how is she selfish to the baby if the baby's not even a thing yet? That's where like, it's one thing if you really think someone should have a kid, that's like still your own opinion, but to be like, that's selfish. You don't want to have a child? No, no. And that same mindset is why so many men are running around just rawing women and just having kids left and right, because they think they need to like make some little babies. And just to go back to my first thought, why are people not adopting more? Whenever I see someone's like, oh, we got a surrogate, I'm like, girl, there's a bunch of newborns whose parents were like, I don't want this kid. Let's grab that kid. Anyway. Live your life. You don't want to have a kid, don't have one.
When you think you have kids?
I'm not having kids.
What you mean you're not having kids?
I'm not having.
Oh, and another thing, because I'm ready to turn this video anyway but loose. Shout out to the black men in the comments. What's up with y'all? You bugging? Y'all use that pissy ass to preach that narrative that women are selfish for not wanting to have kids, etc. But then on the same coin, just a different side of the coin, you talk about you can't be around for your kids. You don't even want to be around your kids. You don't want to give your baby moms no money. The child, the mother of your child any money because blah, 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 and yada, yada. Like, make it make sense. You don't even want your kids. You want your life to be about you, regardless of whatever kind of consequences you got from your actions. But you can't understand that for somebody else who's being more responsible and ethical than your dumb ass. Like, they got their together and you didn't. I'm sorry about that. Fix yourself.
I just don't understand how you don't want your legacy to be carried on, bro. Like,
My legacy is me.
I'm sorry, but this sounds like slavery. Kanye West was not lying when he said we are new slaves, because I understand if you were saying I don't want kids because I don't like society and I'm not trying to do society, that makes sense. But you want to wake up every single day, bust your ass to make some money so you can give it to the white man, and then when you die, everything you got goes to their kids? That sounds like slavery. I don't know what you're saying, but it sounds like you're a new slave. I'm just saying. Black men, we have to stop letting women get away with talking this crazy, because especially the sackers, oh my God, they basically out here to be on a boat and die. That's slavery. Last time I checked,
I just don't understand how you don't want your legacy to be carried.
You know, I'm not the only one who is so tired of hearing this as a reason to have children. Every time someone to pass on your legacy, the whole time, the legacy that they're trying to pass on is the amount of messages that they have unreplied, camping up in women's DM. All you people looking to pass legacy on, if they ask you what exactly it is that you are recognized for, what is it? See someone who cannot fully take care of themselves talking about oh, my lineage has to continue. What is the lineage doing for you now that is going to do for the person that you want to bring into the world? Because there's the possibility that I might be getting it all wrong. Maybe the legacy that they're trying to pass on is the amount of generational trauma that they do not want to break the cycle of. They're working on something that could be publicly recognized as an achievement. What have you done to help yourself grow? All time, the legacy that you guys want to pass on is poverty. If you don't get the
I just don't understand how you don't want your legacy to be carried on.
Me and my father had this same discussion a few months ago. My father randomly called me one day and just was like, you need to get ready. He just had a dream and you're going to be a father. Talking about how I need to be on my A game now because I'm expecting a child pretty soon. He talking about it was a dream, but it sounded like a nightmare to me. And I told my father straight up, my 20s and child will not be going together. I'm living stress-free and child-free in my 20s. And not just with my father, but a lot of the older relatives wants us to have a child. And they all seem to have this carrying out the legacy type of talk. You need to carry out the last name. You need to carry out this last name. My last name ain't the Obamas, the Carters, the Smiths, even the Kardashians. I can't do nothing with this last name. We got no resources, financial literacy, no real life skill, but to have a kid just to carry out a last name.
I just don't understand how you don't want your legacy to be carried on, bro.
They must reduce everything to an element or byproduct of they operate out of emotion, not strategy, logic, or reason. They are guided by their feelings, not intellect. To them, a legacy is nothing more than and making a baby. They are reductionists. What is a legacy? A gift by will, especially of money or other personal property, to bequest. Something transmitted by or received from an ancestor or predecessor or from the past. In order for something to be a legacy, there must be a transmission of money or resources. Being a buck on a plantation does not give you a legacy. Don't get it twisted. You're just a buck on a plantation. Think fast. Who invented dynamite? Dynamite was invented to create. Dynamite was invented to help people in building and mining. But people began using the invention for war. They used the invention to destroy, to hurt, and people. That was not his intention. He wanted his inventions to help people. So before he died, he decided to leave all of the money that he earned from his inventions to create 5 special awards. He decided to leave all of his money to create the 5 Nobel Prizes. The man who invented dynamite was Alfred Nobel, the Nobel Prize of Physiology or Medicine. the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, the Nobel Prize in Physics, the Nobel Prize in Literature, and the Nobel Peace Prize. The man who made millions of dollars by inventing dynamite did not want death and destruction to be his legacy. That man chose to take all of his money and create a legacy that's rooted in peace, academics, and science. You know his name because of the Nobel Peace Prize. You know his name because of peace. You do not know his name because of dynamite. You do not know his name because of war and destruction. That is a legacy. So don't get it up. Don't get this twisted. You just a buck on a plantation.
I just don't understand how you don't want your legacy to be carried on, bro. Like,
My legacy is me.
I feel like a lot of people don't understand that your legacy, like she was saying, is not your kids. Your legacy is exactly what you put out in the world. What people recognize and remember you for when you leave this earth and there's nothing else, not even your body. It's like the impact that you left on people. That's your legacy. It's not your kids. Your kids can be part of your legacy, innit? But overall, you're not. Your kids aren't. Oh, boy. Aye. But yeah, blood. That's not your legacy. Your kids aren't your legacy. Stop putting too much pressure on your kids, fam. Like, real.
I think that legacies, people even really know what they mean. Because your legacy starts with you.
I tell you, she snapped, dog. She snapped, dog. Please watch the rest of that video, please. I get that your children are supposed to be your pride and joy and all that good stuff, yeah. Or give them something that they can take on within the future to help them and the kids after them, like education about money. That ain't no legacy, bro. That ain't no legacy. Just because your daddy played football at this school, then you played football at this school, don't mean your son need to play football at that school. I agree with her 100%. Your legacy is yourself. Number one is yourself, bro. Because if my father's legacy stopped at high school because he played football, he was the starting quarterback, and he had me right after graduation, and he's like, oh, you gotta do the same thing. That's not a legacy.
I just don't understand how you don't want your legacy to be carried on, bro. Like,
My legacy is me.
That sentiment of kids being used to carry on your legacy really did reaffirm to me that some people shouldn't be parents. Because why are you thinking of your children as building blocks to your own empire rather than empires themselves? Like, old girl was completely right and entirely that your legacy is you. Because when you think of your children are not going to be thought of products of you. They're going to be thought of their own people. Because you should not be thinking of your children as just products of themselves. You should be thinking about them as their own people. If the only thing that you have to show for your entire existence is the fact that you have kids, my G, that's kind of embarrassing. Like, which one is more impressive? Someone being remembered for being a kind father, a good husband, a good man, a good worker, or whatever, or someone who just had kids? Like,
because your legacy starts with you. And if you don't have a legacy in your name, your kids ain't got to do it.
I grew up being made to feel like I was an extension of my parents' legacy that they were building, and that made me feel responsible in a way for how I reflected on them. And even now, having been an adult for a long time, I still have to remind myself that I don't bear this burden. I encourage you to go back and watch that video. It just helped remind me that I can release myself of that burden when I feel it, to be responsible for somebody else's legacy, because my words and actions, especially as an adult, but still relating to my parents, but my words and actions don't reflect on them. You deserve to live for your own approval, no one else's.
People think that a legacy is just having kids. No, your legacy is what you set your kids up for. And a lot of people don't got two needs to rub together, but want to have kids and a legacy. What legacy do you have? A legacy of debt? You are an everyday average citizen, sir.
Women like this clearly don't understand the real God or how life actually works. First of all, the only thing the real God ever gave us is the earth and the life on it. Everything else is what we decided to make valuable. But guess what? Before any of those things became value, some average came up with it. Some of y'all really think y'all better than people because of the we come up with. But what's funny is when they coming up with it, nobody believe in them. You trying to make it, you funny, you think you're gonna be rich, you ain't, you broke, nobody want to be with you. This is what y'all do to people, right? Soon as they blow up, everybody want to buy it. Everybody want to wear it. And now they think they better than everybody else because they buying something that somebody else created. Somebody who started off as average. The world we live in is ridiculous, I swear. People just be saying anything on top of the fact that nobody can actually say, you know what, tonight we gonna get pregnant. That's up to God. That's why people will try over and over and it won't happen. And then some people who ain't trying, there you go. But this is why the world is evil, because humans taught a fake God and they made it look like the people who wanted to control the world. Whatever those people decide is going to be valued is what's going to be valuable. Earth and a life on it. Why else do you think people talk like this about humans? This is how I know y'all fake religions that don't mean nothing. One thing we can all agree on though is that God is life. The problem is y'all think God is Jesus or Buddha or whatever fake religion they teaching you. And this is why you don't value what the real God actually gave us. Like I said before, the earth and the life on it. Now I don't think y'all hear me. I'm gonna say it one more time for all the brainwashed religious people who think they worship God. If God is life, the only way to worship God is by worshiping life. Life is real. You can see life. You experience life. You don't have to believe it in your head. What you believe in your head is what you value, and that's why you treat the life you see any kind of way. Subscribe to my YouTube, Planet Reality.
Am I the only one that I'm almost lost by what this last creator was saying? It was making sense, and at the same time, it wasn't making sense to me. And also the one that was talking in the dark. I was lost there. I didn't get it. Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. But please keep it respectful. Here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. Okay? So I am really happy that a lot of men, even though not all of them, a lot of men are really getting the idea of when a woman say we don't want kids and we're not going to have kids. And even a lot of men are coming into that ship of even owning it and saying, you know what, I'm going child-free too. And I find this conversation very interesting because I feel like child-free men and child-free women should be getting together, because a whole lot of men out there still believe that it's a woman's duty, that's our purpose, to have children. And a lot of people are talking about, oh, you won't know until. The thing is that as a human being living in the society that we're living in, we are just repeating the same circle and circle, even worse, because we can, just talking to ourselves, we can tell how terrible the society we live in has become, especially for women, especially as black women, how it has become. And some of the things they've used to really hinder us as women is actually having children. And we've seen what that is. I'm not saying having kids is bad, but when you look yourself in the mirror and you know that mentally, financially, spiritually, morally, you can be a parent, don't have kids because you just want to have kids. That's one thing I preach a lot on this channel, because it takes more than just having kids. It's easy to get pregnant and have kids, but how are you raising the child? What are your intentions having this child for? What is the purpose? A lot of people are having kids as a reflection of themselves, and because of that, they put on so much weight on this child that sometimes the child feels very, very like exhausted already. And even the ones that doesn't do that, you bring a child into an environment that is not conducive for the child, where the child does not even know what love is, what emotion is, what empathy is, and you bring a child into a toxic environment. So for me personally, I would say before you choose to have kids, before you choose to have legacy, go build that legacy and make the environment and the home you choose to have children, whether you be it a male or female, the home you choose to have kids in, make sure that home is a safe place for a child to grow to be a human being and be their authentic self, not the one that the child has to hide and a whole lot of trauma goes in and all that. Like the other brother said, what legacy are you passing? Is it a legacy of poverty? Because the way we're living life now, we're literally living life from hand to mouth, literally. Anyway, guys, please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. So go ahead and share your own thoughts. With that all said, guys, please share this video with somebody that you want to be part of a conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go ahead and share this video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to push out my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting your girl. With that all said, guys, I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.